In this episode of Teach Me Something, Matthew Hanks attempts to teach our real estate expert, Long Doan, how to fly a helicopter. Oh, you heard me. Matthew Hanks has been a realtor for over 20 years, and he is the broker owner of the Hanks Realty Group, brokered by eXp. He is a husband, father, friend, and military veteran. Matthew lives, works, and plays in Gaston, North Carolina. Matthew is a self-proclaimed training junkie, and he wants to see if he can train Long to fly a UH-60 Blackhawk helicopter in under 2 minutes. He's going to train him as if Long's life depended on it.
The consequences could be disastrous!
That's a risk you're going to have to take! Your life depends on it!
No!
Will Long learn something new from Matthew? We will find out on this episode of Welcome to Teach Me Something, where our experts have 2 minutes to teach something new. I'm your host, Jesse Zgorski. Meet Long Doan. Long knows a lot about everything, but specifically real estate and leadership. Long has sold thousands of houses, but there's one thing you should know about him. Every day, he is committed to learning something new. And if he doesn't learn something new, he has to read a book for at least 20 minutes. Long loves to learn, but he hates reading books. Well, that's not totally true, but you get the idea. And Long has a short attention span because his brain is always thinking, which is why our contestants only have 2 minutes. Let's see if Long can learn something new on Teach Me Something. So Matthew Hanks is about to jump in to teach Long how to fly a helicopter in 2 minutes or less. And I gave him the bonus task of making some connections between flying a helicopter and being a real estate agent, which I guarantee there are. We've got an incredible studio audience with us today. We've got Gabe Cole, who you remember from the episode teaching you how to analyze a potential fix and flip deal. And we also have Matthew's right-hand person, Ali Bohannon, who is here just to put added pressure on Matthew, because not like he needs more pressure, but Matthew, you got 2 minutes to teach Long Doan something new. You ready for this?
So ready. Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and you are going.
So Long, it only took me 1.5 years to go through Army Aviation Flight School, but I'm going to teach you. I'm going to sum it all up in 2 minutes, okay? And I've got a prop here. This is the aircraft that we learned to fly, okay? So I'm bringing the prop along so you can use this and get a feel for things, okay? So imagine you and I are sitting side by side in the cockpit of this aircraft, okay? I'm going to be on the left side. You're going to be on the right side. Each of us has a set of controls. So whenever you get on the controls with me, imagine I've already set up the aircraft for takeoff. I've already started the engine, and our rotor system is spinning. So I'm going to make it super easy on you, because all you got to do is just grab the 3 sets of controls and just pull this baby off the ground, and away we go. Okay. So very important. Pay close attention. Now, I'm going to start with the pedals. The pedals, as you can tell, we have 2 rotor systems of the aircraft. One is our main rotor system that's spinning above our head, and there's a tail rotor system, which is an anti-torque device on the back. As you know, every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So as the aircraft spins this main rotor system, it's trying to spin the aircraft. The rotor system is trying to spin the aircraft the opposite way. So our tail rotor keeps us from spinning, holds us steady. And those pedals at your left foot and your right foot, there's 2 different ones. To make it very simple, as you apply pressure on the left pedal, it's going to pull this aircraft to the left. As you push on the right pedal, it's going to turn the aircraft to the right. All it's doing is changing the pitch of our tail rotor system in the back. Larger pitch is a bigger bite of air, and it spins the tail end of the aircraft, which changes our heading in the front. So that's our yaw axis, and it's controlled by your feet. Left and right feet, very busy, okay? That's your first set of controls. Second one is the cyclic. That's the stick. The one that's right there between your legs. You grab that, and you can move it around left, right, forward, and back, and it changes the tilt of the main rotor system. So there's a phenomenon known as gyroscopic precession, which means when you apply a pressure to a spinning object, it manifests 90 degrees in direction of rotation from where that force was applied. But don't worry, the engineers of the aircraft have already factored that into the swash plate and the mechanical controls of the aircraft. So when you push that cyclic forward, the main thing to remember is you push that cyclic forward, that stick you're holding on to with your right hand, it's going to tilt the main rotor system forward, and the aircraft's going to move forward. You move it left, the aircraft's going to move left, right, and back. It's like a unicycle. You can go anywhere you want. Ultimate maneuverability with that aircraft. So those are the 2 systems. The last one is in your left hand. It goes up and down. It's called the collective. What that collective does is it changes the pitch of the main rotor blades all at the same time, or collectively. That's why we call it the collective. As you pull it up, it increases the pitch. Main rotor system spins at the exact same speed all the time. The difference is the pitch. So when you pull in the collective, it's going to change the pitch of all the blades at the same time. In this case, we have 2 on this aircraft, and the aircraft's going to pick up off the ground like this because it's taking a bigger bite of air and it's pushing that air down faster. So the aircraft rises up. So to go up and down, it's that collective in your left hand. To go left and right and forward and back, it's that stick, the cyclic, that's in your right hand. And to change the yaw or the heading of the aircraft left and right, it's going to be those pedals at your left and right feet. Got it?
Hey,
you're ready to go.
I gotta say, that was one of our first guests, Long, that I forgot to even tell you were 1 minute in and that you had you went over time, and I don't care because I was so fascinated by what he was explaining. That was a year and a half worth of knowledge. And were you, Long, also just like, this is?
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready. Put me in a real helicopter. I think I got this.
Well, it only takes about 10 to 12 hours of practice just to hover the aircraft, just to keep it inside of a basketball court or football field size space. If you can hover it and you can hold it still, just about 3 feet off the ground, you have ultimate control. You can do anything with that aircraft.
So I'm going to point Long in the right direction here because I love learning about that. And my brain was already looking at ways that relates to running a real estate business. Long, did you see some similarities there?
Oh yeah, right. System run business. People run systems. I already got the system you just taught me. Now I just got to plug the people in, and it sounds like it could be just about anybody.
Yeah, they could teach a monkey to wiggle the sticks. Fly that thing. That's what they say.
What about the collective? I love that. I had no idea there was something inside a helicopter called the collective that makes it all go together. Can't you see there's we've got Allie here who's on the call. She did this fantastic call the other day on how to be a great team member on Agent Power Huddle. Like every business needs the collective also, right? That you could the piece that can move everything, pull it together. You got parts in business that go left and right. I was just seeing all sorts of analogies there.
Yeah, I love it. So a couple questions. So what's the actual, is it state specific? Like how many hours for flight school do you need to go through to get licensed to fly one of these officially?
I would say you're probably looking at 30 or 40 hours total flight time. Like I say, it's going to take you 8 to 10 just to learn to hover. And then you do a few traffic patterns and things like that. You can do it less if it's fixed wing. Not many people start with helicopters. Most people, it's like a bicycle. You can think of an airplane like a bicycle and a helicopter like a unicycle. Mm-hmm. Like no one starts on a unicycle. You get on a bike and you'll figure it out and then you move to the unicycle. A helicopter is kind of that way when it comes to flying. So you got all that maneuverability, but your sacrifice is it's much more complex to control it. And so like real estate, we always talk about the barrier of entry is really low to real estate. Sounds like to fly a helicopter is about the same. So you want to definitely make sure if you're taking any of those tools thing to make sure your pilot is seasoned and licensed and been doing it for a while, huh? Absolutely correct. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, I tried to make it super simple in 2 minutes. I don't even know how long I ended up going, Jesse, over time. Sorry about running over.
It was about 3 minutes. It was still an incredible lesson in 3 minutes. Like truly, that's why it's hard to fault you. That was an incredible amount of information in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had it down to 2 minutes and practice getting ready for this, but it is a lot of information to try to review. But it's simple, but as you get into it, it's ultimately very complex. It really is. And a lot of what you do, it becomes intuitive after you begin doing it. As you can imagine, after you have 30, 40 hours of flight time, I probably have 400 or so hours. And the aircraft that you learn on is very basic. There's no hydraulic help with this aircraft. There's only one engine. It's like driving a stick shift. And then when you graduate to an advanced airframe like a Blackhawk, there's lots of pilot assist. So a lot of the things that you did that kept you really busy in a basic aircraft like this, they put in a lot of pilot assist and hydraulics and electronics to help you with a lot of those things.
I can't imagine many other realtors, because the first time I met Matthew, we commented on this in the business that his logo is based on his last name, which is Hanks, but it's also based on a helicopter landing pad. Because how many other top realtors that run successful real estate teams that know how to fly a Blackhawk helicopter?
Yeah, I know one today.
Yeah, I mean, there must be a handful in the country that are right. Yeah. So anyway, any other questions, Long, you have for Matthew? Otherwise, I've got a quick question for Allie.
Yeah, no, I feel like if I ever put in a situation as an emergency, I'm in Hawaii or something and there's a volcano and I found a helicopter, I can probably get myself out of there, I feel like.
I never thought of that for self-preservation. That's a good one to practice. I mean, in every movie, there's always an abandoned helicopter you're going to find somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
You see that movie with Tom Cruise, was it Edge of Tomorrow, where he's like the same day repeat? He finds a helicopter, learns to fly it, right? If Matthew can do it, I can do it. Well, thank you, Matthew. This is awesome. My question for Allie is, Allie, do you ever see Matthew do this 3-minute training on how to fly a helicopter at a listing appointment, or is this only for us?
You guys are VIP, so this is only for you guys.
All right, just checking.
I share this with everyone, so.
Well, Matthew, that was incredible. Long, I don't even think I have to ask, but I'm going to ask just because. Did you learn something today?
Absolutely did, and I do not need to read tonight, Jesse.
Cool. I figured that was the case. I couldn't imagine you knew that. All right. Well, Matthew, thank you for being a contestant.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished. I love it. Guys, thank you for being here. Everybody have a wonderful day. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.